welcome back to our YouTube channel, Miss Young Homeowner. We're so thrilled today to have Miss Lauren, the real estate Baddie, as our guest speaker for this episode. Thank you for being here, girl.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for allowing us to take over this beautiful office.
Of course,
Appreciate
of course.
it. So, of course, we love to start by just having you give a little background as to who you are, where you're from. Just, give us a little tea.
Of course. Let me just spill some real estate tea. So, I'm Lauren Kingsbury. I attained my real estate license at 18 years old, and I'm from Maryland. Okay. So, I got licensed in Maryland. I'm currently attending Hampton University, so I did take a year off to shout out to Hampton. I took a year off to get my first investment property and do full-time real estate. Wow. So starting as an 18-year-old, I sat for my license and I studied from my freshman year in college to my sophomore year. Wow. And that's really my background. So I work for Keller Williams Preferred Properties, and I'm a full-time realtor.
Wow. How did you even get into real estate? Like, what prompted you to do that, especially while you're in the thick of your first, second year
Right. Well, I'm trying to get lit at Hampton, right? So I started attending lunch and learns, and at first I was just going for the lunch. Like, I wasn't thinking about real estate.
Right.
And then I went to a team meeting, and the team meeting is where our office celebrates the numbers, our monthly numbers of each team and individual that is a high performer within the office.
Okay.
So once I saw those numbers, I was like, hold up. I need to ask my mom how do I become a part of this? Because I was working at Six Flags, making $7.25 an hour, and I was like, I need to figure out how to make more money.
Right.
And so I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, how do I become a part of this team? And she's like, get your license and then we could talk.
Okay.
So as a 17-year-old, I started studying for my license, and then at 18, I was able to finally sit for the national estate, and then I got licensed.
That's so ambitious, because like you're saying, when you're 17 and you're 18 years old, you're thinking about getting lit.
Yeah.
It's your first year on campus.
Right.
You're not even thinking about internships or jobs. Like, did you long term know that you wanted to get into real estate?
Long term, I would say no. Like, I wasn't too interested in it as a freshman until I went to that team meeting, and I saw the numbers and I saw how impactful Keller Williams was in the community, and I just wanted parts. Like, I wanted to be a part of it. And I was like, I know I can contribute to this office by being a young adult that's interested in real estate. I know how, but when I got there, I started building people's social media for $20, and that's how I would make money at first when I didn't have my license. So I would do that, and then I would gain experience from more seasoned agents, and they would help me by mentoring me and explaining the real estate industry to me. So
it's that natural ability to just like come in as a millennial and offer things that some folks might not be privy to.
Right.
Like social media, or just having people at Hampton that
exactly
about to graduate. That's a whole new fleet of people potentially looking to buy homes. So
right.
You got a lot of clientele.
Yeah, it's about giving back. Not take, but just making sure you have something to contribute when you're asking for mentorship or trying to gain experience in somewhere that's a new environment.
Absolutely. So can you enlighten us how the real estate process works, or when you're trying to obtain your license? Is it difficult? Is it long? Is it hard?
So being totally transparent, I did fail my state the first time. So you have to take the national and state portions in order to get your real estate license.
Okay.
So rewind it back. I would say save at least $200 to $400 depending on what type of test you want to take.
Okay.
So the in-class is cheaper. For me, it's $249. And if you go on my website, it's on there. You can check it out, and it's basically an online course, and it's 60 credit hours. So then if you do it in class, those are typically like $400 to $600, but you get the in-class lectures, you get a teacher, more, it's like a classroom setting.
Okay.
So then for the online course, you can take that at your own pace. You don't have to rush through it. You could take it as long as you want.
Okay.
And I think they give you about 6 months though. You have to finish it at least in 6 months. And then after you finish the course, the 60 credit hour course, then you would take a course exam. So the course exam is something you have to take before you sit for your national estate.
Okay.
So it's to make sure you retain.
That's the first test.
Yeah, it's a precursor before you take your national estate, because you want to make sure that you retain that information that you study for.
And I'm sure it's a lot of information.
It's a lot of information because you have to go through national and then your specific state terminology and scenarios, real estate scenarios. So when I took that course, I did fail by 1 point. You're supposed to get a 70. I got a 69. So then,
that's a lot of people.
Look, I have to be honest.
Yes.
So then I went back and I passed it the next time, and that prepared me for my national in the state. So the national is like 80 to 85 questions. The state is 30 to 35.
Oh, it's not
yeah.
many. Okay.
So with the national, I passed that flying colors the first time I took it. The state, I failed it,
Was
and
it
then
hard?
yeah. So the thing about that was it was Maryland real estate scenarios that I was not aware of or cognizant of. Like I had to go back and study those because the national is more so the rudimentary basic information about real estate, U.S. real estate laws and regulations, right? Terminology, things like that. So yeah, that's where I would say start if you're interested in getting your license.
Is there a timeline to take that state and national one? Like, do you have to take that in a certain amount of time?
Yeah. So actually, after you pass your course, you have to go online and see when it's available for you to sit for your national estate. It's almost like when you get your cosmetology license or your SATs. You have to wait. So if you fail, like me, like I failed first, my state, I had to wait like a couple weeks until it was available for me to take it again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not like you have to. I think it was about a couple weeks you had to wait, but you just have to schedule it online.
And then everything you do once you get licensed is applicable to everything you were studying, like working with clients you really.
I would say, learning from a book and learning from hands-on are two totally different things. Like you get into the real estate industry and you're like, okay, I got it. I really need hands-on experience. I need a mentor. I need someone to at least shadow for a couple months before I really get my feet wet within this industry. So I would say I learned a lot with terminology and contracts, leases, things like that. But when it comes to actually speaking with people, having real estate conversations, that's all based from experience and, mentorship.
And you were able to find someone to help mentor you?
Yeah, so definitely my mom. She's the one who's been in real estate. Shout out to Mom, Tracy Goins _KW. Shout out to you.
Yes.
She literally has been in real estate since 2003.
Okay.
She took a break, went corporate. She worked for Nike, Under Armour, and Air Jordan. And that's where I got my business, corporate experience from, because she would always expose me to it.
Right.
Then when we came back, my grandmother had gotten sick, and so she came back and she fell back full-time on real estate. So it was for more flexibility, more time, and it was definitely encouraging to me because I had to help the family business, Right. So it was definitely something that was lucrative for my family to start back into real estate.
I'm getting so much black girl energy right now. I'm so proud of
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And we went to your event not that long ago.
Yes, and thank you for supporting and coming out. I appreciate it.
We got to see all your hard work and studying in action.
Yes.
You have this amazing brand now, the Real Estate Baddie.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you were able to build that and how that's been perceived by your coworkers and your colleagues?
Yeah, definitely. So I started it. Essentially, the Real Estate Baddie brand started as business oriented, teaching people how to prepare for interviews or prepare for resumes, because I edit resumes, and that's something that I did while I was on campus as a side hustle.
Gotcha.
And so I started off doing that mainly for my line sisters. I would just do it.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, I need to start charging for this, because it's a lot. It takes a lot out of my time to do that.
That
so
was nice
then,
of you to do
it was So then after that, I was like, wait, I need to incorporate real estate into this because I want my friends to learn about this too.
Yeah.
So I started making videos about it and just, doing the typical, hey, this is what this means,
right.
or this is what I do for my day to day. But I was like, I really want to switch things up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the song Act Up, and I was like, hold up, I'm about to remix Act Up, and I'm about to make it all about real estate.
Okay.
So that was my first song that I did, and I rapped about real estate, and it just kind of blew up. That's where the brand really took off, and people really started to notice, hey, this girl started at 18 and she's rapping about it. It's she's positive. It's just cool. So that's really where the brand took off, and the merchandise, the hats and stuff. I created that first hat on Vistaprint. It cost me $30 to make. I was just spending too much on it, but I had to have it. It was something that I was like, I want to see what this looks like, and I want to put it out there. So I bought one for myself first, and I just would wear one hat, and I'd be like, all right, we're going to start pre-selling it. So I pre-sold it, and people really started buying it, and I was like, they like, that's when I knew I had something that people would like. Because my mom,
yes,
thank you. So so my mom was always like, if somebody buys something that once, then you have something that people will like. So then I started doing courses and teachable courses and YouTube and things like that. So that's where the brand really stemmed from. It's just me being business oriented on campus and using that to my advantage. Yeah.
And I'm sure you have a lot to contribute to your team here at Keller Williams.
Yes, definitely.
Once again, you're a millennial. You have the social media platform.
Yeah, and that's what I do So majority of my mom's clients, even her hairstylist, shout out to Nicole Brace. I do social media packages for a lot of people. Awesome. Yeah, so I'll help them with creating posts, editing their videos, things like that. So I always come from contribution because I want to make sure that I'm contributing to the office because I am the youngest. So having that challenge of being, 18 or I'm now 22 in an average industry that the age is 52, I have to make sure that I come correct. You know what I'm saying? So that's where having experience, having my 3 years behind my belt now, I can have those confident conversations with people that they don't know my age, So I make sure that I come correct with my seasoned agents and customers and clients. So.
Girl, that is awesome. You
Thank you.
Like the all-around hustler. I'm so here for
Thank you.
So, what are some things that people should look for when they are trying to find a real estate agent to work with?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, of course, you're finding somebody that you can trust, finding somebody that can educate you throughout the process. But the most important thing that I think is good for someone to look for in a real estate agent is someone that's going to listen to what you need, right? So you need somebody that's not going to be like pushy and telling you, hey, like buy this, you need to buy right now, and not giving you time to prepare. You want to make sure that when you're talking to your agent, they're actually listening to your property criteria, listening to your financial needs, because everybody's financial situation is unique. So that's something that I would definitely, look for. Somebody that you trust, somebody that's educating you before, during, and after the process. Because seriously, it's just like you get a driver's license, but you don't know how to drive.
Right.
Like you don't want that to be your situation. You want somebody that's gonna literally take care of you throughout this process because it's a huge life decision. So yeah, those are the 3 things I would say to focus on.
Yeah, I worked with a realtor and she was great, but sometimes she went a little ghost. And I was like, girl, this is a huge decision. Like, I need somebody to hold my hand.
I know my clients,
now.
And it's funny because I let my clients, and my mom, she's like, you have to set hours, but I'm a millennial, right? So if my client texts me at 11 p.m., like, girl, I'm this, I'm that, I'll text her back. Like, I'll adhere to whatever my client needs because I know how I would feel if I needed my agent at, if I feel like I need her at 11 p.m. and I just want to talk, like, or what do you think? Can you do, some research on this? Of course, girl, I'll do it when I wake up, but I'll at least respond, right? Like, that's the type of agent that I am, and because why not,
Yeah, I like that. So speaking of like finding a realtor, I know oftentimes people are like, I want to buy a house, I'm ready to find a real estate agent, I'm ready to go look for homes.
Right.
And that's like the highlight of the process. But oftentimes you don't realize how much back work you need to do even before you come to a realtor, right? So like, what are some things people who are trying to buy a home should research before reaching out to an agent?
Yes. So I would say there's a 2-part process to the home buying process. So it's actually, buying the home, but there's that lending process, right? So the lending process is something that a lot of our clients have to work on. And that's what we say. Sometimes it takes 6 to 12 months to prepare to buy a house because I would say understanding your financial situation before, yes, Credit Karma is okay. However, it's not always the most accurate thing, right? So I would say connect with the realtor and they will help you, with the lender to assess your financial situation. And if you have like a couple credit cards, a couple secured, whatever you got going on, make sure you tighten that up before you go to a realtor because it'll really help when you're going into things like that. And then secondly, with the home buying process, I would say determining your property criteria. So knowing how many bedrooms you want, where you want to live, things like that. So you can ask those questions because great questions get great answers. And once you ask your real estate agent, they'll be able to answer, as long as you have a great real estate agent. They'll be able to answer those questions,
right.
But as long as you have those questions to ask, I'd rather that than someone that's like, you know what, I don't know anything, and I don't want to ask any questions because I'm scared. Like, don't be afraid to ask your real estate agent questions, but have those questions as the research.
It's like going to the doctor and like not being transparent. It's
like how much does it hurt? Zero. Like, no, it hurts a little bit,
like,
right?
If you want a garage, if you want to be in the city,
because we'll be honestly like, hey, like in this city, you won't get that price that you want, or you should know what you want your monthly mortgage payment to be. Like, those are little things that you should know.
And my realtor, that was the first question she asked me. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't think about that, but that's a good takeaway. You should at least start by knowing what you want your monthly mortgage to be.
Just a rough estimate, just so you have that idea to give to your lender. Because the thing about that is, sometimes lenders will give you that amount you ask for, right? So that monthly mortgage amount, they'll pre-approve you up to that amount. However, like my client just found out there's a maximum amount she has. So it's not within the budget that she desired. However, she's pre-approved for more.
Right.
So, that's also something else that you should think about when you're talking to your lender.
When you're taking your clients out to places, or I come to you as a client, right?
Right.
I tell you my criteria. What do you like? What's the most important criteria when, I guess, showing a home? Or, like, recommending a home? Is it the location? Is it like the school district?
You said it. The location. because it's for a couple of reasons. So if you came to me and say, hey, Lauren, I want to go look at some properties and this is where I'm interested in and this is my property criteria, I set up a listing search. So my listing search is based off your location, based off the bedrooms you want, the price that you want to stay in. And so when we go see those properties, it goes into how far your job is from it, what's being developed around it, if it's a new home, build or development, what phase are they in their building, so we know what prices we're getting. The earlier you go into new home construction, the better. So what they're building around it. So that's definitely the prime thing, because a lot of people don't want to be far from work, and they want to make sure the school districts are nice and things like that.
Which is something people don't realize you got to take into consideration when you sell, right? Like
seriously.
Bedrooms, right. In a good school
is it too many renovations in it? Will it sell for, so you just want to make sure that when you're looking at properties, you are being cognizant of the location, what's going on around it. That's why we do the comps, the CMA comparative market analysis, so that we help our client understand, hey, these is what the homes in the neighborhood are selling for, what they've sold for, what they're active on the market for, so that you know that this house is priced right when we put in an offer.
Because a lot of people as of lately are like, I want to buy a home, but I don't know where. I don't know which location. So I think that's good feedback to help people.
Right, to narrow it down. Okay.
So I know you mentioned that you are like trying to get an investment property.
Yes.
How is that process going for you?
It's so interesting. Like, because when I first came out here, I was like, okay, I know for sure I don't want to rent when I graduate from Hampton, right? So I was like, okay, I have to figure out a plan for me to get my first investment property. So I was like, I'm going to take a year off of school. I'm going to save up and do 10% down on a property. I was going to do my FHA loan. However, I'm self-employed, so I have to do some creative alternative financing with my guy, the mortgage expert. Shout out to Roscoe. He's just getting me together with my pre-approval, because I'm a real estate agent, so I do have a 1099 in comparison to a W-2. So that being said, I have to, my financing is going to be super creative. So that's been my process. And because at first I was going to get a property in Virginia, and then I was going to do like student rental income, like house hack out there. But I'm like, I'm not living in Virginia when I graduate. So plans changed, and I was like, I'm going to just get a condo in Maryland, so that when I'm in Hampton and rent it out, then when I graduate, I have a place to stay.
Real smart.
So that's really the plan. And up in Marlboro, I really want to go out there. Those condos are so cute. And yes, of course. So working with Roscoe, he basically got my life together with my pre-approval. And he was like, he told me some things I had to fix. So that's where having multiple secured cards came into play, making sure my credit utilization was lower than 50%. And I really worked on those things, and my credit score has improved tremendously since we had a talk. So it's just and clearing out old accounts and things like that. So that's where I'm at right now. And the plan is being under contract by December. So let's just
invite me to the house to watch
of course. Look, you're gonna be right.
What I need to bring.
Y'all gonna be right there.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I do feel like some folks that I've talked to are like, I want to buy a home, and they expect to be in a home in the next like month, 2 months, and I'm like, it's things you gotta work on, like credit, like kind of
you have to prepare
that reoccurring debt. It's just a lot of things you gotta like chip away at, and then it's like, okay, now I'm ready.
Exactly.
You know? So
there's no rush.
Some insight.
Of course.
So I know, you started real estate 18 years old. You go to a historically Black university.
Yes, ma'am.
You are yourself a beautiful Black woman.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you to be helping other millennials like buy property? Like, what is the overall bigger picture?
Yeah.
Like, your take on that?
So it's like I have multiple goals for myself when it comes to the Real Estate Baddie brand. However, I have 5 sisters, right? So 3 being younger than me. And I always tell them about real estate. Like, whether they like it or not, they're learning. Like, my little sisters were in my music video. I don't know if you peeped them, but there's 2 little twins in there. Yes, they're in my music video. But I do that on purpose because they're learning about real estate all day, every day, and they don't even notice it. So it's to continue that cycle. And also with having my Real Estate Baddie, my Real Estate Boss group. So I have a group of mentees. They're, range from age 18 to 20. And I have them shadow me on open houses, showings, any daily real estate activities. I make sure they're there with me because when I was 18, that's what I would have wanted. Somebody to literally hold my hand through this process and show me, hey, I'm young and I'm doing it. Absolutely. And it's possible. Yeah. So that's where I'm coming from with that aspect of it. And then secondly, with the HBCU real estate tour, I want to hit every HBCU, with things with, HBCU Wall Street. We've been talking and making sure that we hit every single HBCU with this real estate information, financial literacy information. And that's really the bigger picture. I want young adults to know that literally there's someone doing it and you can do it too. Yes. And you can start now. So
that is what Miss Young Homeowner is all about.
Yes, that's why I love your page.
You could be young, millennial, Black, single woman and invest and buy your own property.
Right.
You don't need to be married. You don't need to be in your 40s with kids.
Think about it now.
Think about it now. That's just having that vision for long term. Wanting to set that foundation for generational wealth.
Right.
That's what we're all about.
Yep.
So to that point, what advice would you give those people who are watching, whether they're at Hampton, in college, recently graduated, who are looking to buy a home in the next 6 months to a year?
So I would definitely say, like we said earlier, start doing some research on where you want to live, what things, what property criteria you would be interested in as a new homeowner. And another tidbit I would just say is start looking up down payment and closing cost assistance programs. See what's out there for you because there's a lot of people that get into homes and they don't pay for anything. So there's, different NACA programs. You have the Maryland Smart Buy program where they pay up to $40,000 of your student loans. So just look into those programs because don't be scared of your debt. Like I have student loans and I'm about to buy my first property. It's okay. These are things that I want people to know because as a young adult, you might be scared of it or, you might steer away from it and push it off. But
think that you're not eligible.
Right. So, so learn some numbers, learn the numbers behind all of it and definitely ask questions. So if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out to me. I always answer my DMs about home ownership, investing, I get those questions a lot and I just want people to know it's feasible.
I think that's
as long as you save.
I think that's a great takeaway. A lot of people just count themselves out because they have student loan debt.
Right.
There are programs that can help consolidate
literally
that.
pay them off.
Pay for your down payment.
Yeah.
So how can people find you on social media if they have questions?
Yeah, so on every platform is Real Estate Baddie. My website is Real Estate Baddie. My teachable course is Real Estate Baddie. Instagram, Real Estate Baddie. Okay. Twitter, Real Estate Baddie.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. We appreciate your knowledge.
Thank you.
Taking time just to talk with us. So make sure y'all tune in for the rest of our season. And like she said, if you have any questions, feel free to hit her up. And also find us at Miss Young Homeowner on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube. We'll see you next episode.
See y'all.